Did you expect it to turn into a battle in the paint game?
Well, the first half, Dante got into foul trouble, and Muhammad just kind of had his way. Khalil wasn't physical with him, and he had 17 at half. He got the first 2 of the second half, and then I thought Dante, just kind of wore him down. On the offensive end, he was physical and took it to the basket, and on the defensive end, I thought he did a good job. You take his turnovers out of the game, and Dante really played well. Kind of saddled with those 2 fouls in the first half. He can't get reaching fouls. He just can't do that. But second half he was really good. But Will just did a great job again, just getting people in the right spot, and get 8 assists. Waldo had 7, and 15 assists, 2 turnovers from those 2 guys, really helped us.
The focus was to contain Washington State's 3-pointers coming into the game. After they converted only just 3 of them, after 14, what was the key to that?
Well, I thought our guys closed really hard. Their awareness was really good. They didn't have one of their 3-point shooters. Mullins was out, so that helped us a little bit. But no, they're a good 3-point shooting team. They had 19 in the last game, 15 before that, shooting 46% or 45% from 3. So, we couldn't let that beat us, and it did open up some things inside. But Baum got to the rim a couple times where we just were afraid to help off of shooters. So, I thought our guys overall, active that second half, held them to 28 points. So I did like that. We out-rebounded them the second half. So those are always good stats.
You spoke the other day about Will's leadership Sunday, kind of on and off the court. You're down 44-40 in this one. He scores, makes a steal at the other end, scores again in transition. I think maybe even in the end one. Sometimes you just need your leaders to make plays, right?
Yeah, no, he had 8 assists. He made plays all night, but just continually keeping the guys focused, and he's doing a great job. We've been fortunate. We've had some great leaders here. Eugene and Peyton, Chris Forte was a good leader. Joe, we telling Brooks, we've had really good leaders here. And Will, man, like I said, the last 3 games, he's been phenomenal. I can't say it enough. The transformation he's made, the way he's got guys playing, I'd like to take a little credit for it, but it's all him. He's done a hell of a job, and really taken ownership, and the guys have followed him. There's part of being a good leader is having guys that were willing to follow, and willing to, be part of that. And so, again, I thought he had a great game. Dante really had a good second half.
How many games in a row can you play him this many minutes? He mentioned on Tuesday it's the same old for him. Minutes aren't an issue. When does it become a concern of playing him this much?
Well, he's not going to do much in practice. We can give him a couple light days in practice. So, we'll have to balance it out, but he will have to take really good care of himself. But he'll like the idea of playing 40 minutes and not practicing as much. They all like that idea. But right now we don't, till Key gets back and Brennan gets a lot more comfortable. Brennan can handle it some. He and Jermaine, I was trying to make a decision who was going to be our 3rd point, after Will and Keyshawn. And they're both capable of doing it, but they just are going, both need time to get acclimated to what we're doing. But Brennan handles it well enough. He could bring it down and get us in sets.
What's made him so effective then, Will, to not have to practice much and do what he's doing? You keep saying it's really impressive.
Well, 5 years. He's got a lot of experience. He's played a lot of minutes for us. I've told him over the years, and you've won you've been on teams that have won 2 conference championships. You've been on 2 teams that went Sweet 16. You were on a conference championship team. you've won a lot of games here. You got to act like it. You got to let these guys know, you've been there, done that. And those guys need that. And so that's why they'll follow him. He's won a lot of games, been on teams that have advanced, and that gives him credibility with the fellas, and then when he competes and he does what he did, and he's not always going to have these kind of numbers, but it doesn't matter. You just keep competing and keep fighting, and we get guys back, and we'll have a little better flow to things.
What did you see from Brendan? It sure seemed like he played with a lot of energy.
Yeah, I didn't want to play him that much. I got a little carried away, but he was really playing well. The defense, a couple boards, for not playing for a month, offensively it showed, a couple looks that I think he'll normally hit, but the defense, getting a couple steals, digging down, I thought he did some really good things.
How important was it to have a performance like this and really close a game out like this at the start of Pac-12 play?
Well, the last two, it does help you. We finished with the 10-0 run against Villanova in the last 2:30, and then, we finished this one today. It doesn't hurt you, I'd always say every game's its own deal, but knowing that, you can finish and knowing that you can come back, it does help you.
Valdo really had an all-around performance, 8, 7, 5, and 4 fouls. Can you speak to his play and just what a difference maker he was, especially in the second half?
No, I thought he was really solid. I thought he did a good job on Bamba. He really took the challenge of trying to guard him. Like I said, the best thing is the 7 assists. It moved the ball and made the right decisions. 1 turnover, which was an offensive foul. But other than that, I just thought he made good decisions. So defensively, he did a good job, and I thought he just played a good all-around game.
With a quick turnaround before UCLA, Dan, obviously full well what Mick likes to run, and if anything, they're going a little bit quicker tempo-wise than he usually does. But what have you seen so far from them, and how you get these guys focused?
I've only seen him, early. One of the games they played down in Vegas. I haven't watched him much. Get started on him tonight or tomorrow morning, whenever get going, and we got 2 days to get ready, which is better than usual. Usually, the conference games you got 1 day. But we played 2 o'clock on Sunday afternoon, so we'll go light. A lot of dry stuff tomorrow, a lot of dry stuff on Saturday. Fly up there Saturday night and get there early, be ready to go at 2 o'clock. But it'll be a big challenge. We haven't done well against number 1 Houston, number 8 UConn. We get it done, and Michigan State. So in Irvine we were really bad. So we just got to keep getting better. But this is a great opportunity for us to answer your question. They got a quick turnaround too. I think they played Stanford tonight. I don't know, but we both got quick turnaround. We both got to be ready to go Sunday at 2.
Last question.
That'll be your first game out of the state of Oregon. Just how important is the poise of Will, Quincy, and Dante going to be on the road?
Oh yeah, no, it'll be different, but those guys got a lot of experience. Probably be different for Khalil, but I don't even know if he knows where LA is. He just freshman. He just walks around and guys tell him where to go, and so no, I don't think it'll bother him. I know he's got a heartbeat, but he just like same pace every time. We got to get him into 3rd gear, 4th gear. I know there's more gears there, but he shows his natural ability on things, just going up and getting balls, and so there's so much more there, we got to keep challenging him, keep encouraging him, but there is so much more there, but to answer your question, guys will be excited about going to LA and playing, and We just go swing away and try to make something happen.